Welcome to the Empowered Life podcast, where we explore the secrets to successful entrepreneurship. I am your host, Alice McFarlane, master coach, speaker, trainer, network marketing entrepreneur, and human design fanatic with a true passion for empowering others to tap into their confidence, superpowers, and their purpose. On this podcast, I'm all about cutting through the fluff and BS and getting straight to the heart of what really matters, achieving your goals and living the life of your dreams. So, whether you are an entrepreneur, a goal-getter, or someone on the way to becoming the best version of yourself, we have got you covered. I'm so excited to have you here. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. So today I want to talk to you about something called the Pomodoro Technique. All right, so let's talk about this. Would you like to get more done in less time? Hands up. Basically, everyone would love to get more done in less time. Is that correct? Who wastes a lot of time here? Okay, we all do. Okay, we all have the potential to waste a lot of time because we all get the same 24 hours a day. If we can agree with that, we all get the same 24 hours a day. The only thing we can change is basically how productive we are in our 24 hours in a day. Now, just to be clear, this is not me saying that you need to work 80 to 100 hours a week, that you need to work harder, work more, because if you have already been listening into my podcast and following me along, you know that I am 100% committed to finding out what's important to you, finding out what aligns to your values, your time, so that you can spend the time where you want allocated to your values, okay? To the things that are important to you. So I'm definitely not saying that you need to work, 80, 100 hours a week and things like that. I may be saying to some of you that you need to work harder. Okay. I may be saying to some of you that you need to work more because I don't know what you're working. So, just take from this what you need. But let's talk about having a more effective or a more focused time. Okay. That's what I want to talk about today. So, what is this costing you? Okay. Where are you not being effective with your time? And what is it costing you? It could be costing you your goals. Okay. It could be costing you money. It's most definitely costing you your time, which could have a flow and effect of, how much time you get to spend doing the things that are important to you, whether or not that's spending time with your loved ones, that freedom for you to be able to spend the time where you want, doing what you want, how you want. Okay, basically, because we all have a choice. We all have a choice to take charge and to decide what we are giving our attention to. So, just a little question. If you are getting interrupted when you're working, how long do you think it takes you to get back on track, okay? To get back completely into focus after you've been interrupted, okay? Because I've just done a bit of research shows that it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact to regain focus after a distraction, okay? So let's just assume it's 23 minutes. So the research shows 23 minutes to get back on track after you have been interrupted. Now, I don't know about you, but I quickly did the math and went, if I get interrupted 5 times in my workday, and each of those 5 times it takes me 23 minutes to get back on track, that is 115 minutes. So it's basically 2 hours of me just trying to get back on track. So what can we do to be better at our focus? Okay. Now, would you be open to trying a technique if it would enhance your productivity? Okay. It would help you get more done in less time. It would help you feel a sense of accomplishment that you've achieved everything that you've set out to achieve. And it would have a potential to reduce burnout. Okay. So, what is the Pomodoro Technique? Let's just dive into it a little bit. Basically, what it is where you are doing one task and one task only. Okay, so you are breaking down larger tasks into smaller more manageable tasks. So basically, the Pomodoro technique can also help individuals to develop more efficient work habits through effective time management. Okay. They can get more done in less time while achieving a sense of accomplishment and reducing the potential for burnout. So, first of all, what do we need to do if we want to dive in and do the Pomodoro technique? Okay. The first thing you're going to need to do is to remove all distractions. Okay. Now, what are your distractions? So, for me, the distractions could be my phone. Okay. So I need to have my notifications turned off. I need to have the notifications turned off on my computer. I have another phone as well. All the notifications need to be turned off so I'm not getting those interruptions in when I'm using the Pomodoro technique and I'm getting into that state of focus. Let's remove all the distractions. So what are your distractions? It could be people. Okay. It could be external sounds. It could be other things that are going on around you. So what do you need to do? If I'm wanting to get into my full-on creative state, say as I want to research a podcast topic and things like that, I would even go as far as to putting my noise cancelling headphones on because that's when I know it. It also means that when I've got my noise cancelling headphones on, if someone else is to walk into my office or something like that and they see that I've got those headphones on, they also know that at that point in time, unless it's an emergency or something that I need to know there and then, they do not interrupt me. Okay, so my family knows that if they walk in, see me with those headphones on, you do not interrupt me. I am in a high state of focus and working on something. So remove your distractions. Okay. Now, the next thing, so anytime I sit down to use this method, basically I make sure that I have a timer. Okay. We'll talk about that soon. And also a blank piece of paper and a pen. All right. Because let me tell you this. So, first of all, before I get into my state of focus of what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, so what the Pomodoro technique basically is working on one thing and one thing only for 25 minutes solid and then having a 5-minute break. Okay. And then if you haven't completed the task, you can come back and work on it for another 25 minutes solid and then having a 5-minute break. That, in a nutshell, is what the Pomodoro is. But I want to give you some tips on what it is because if you're first starting it, 25 minutes might feel like a long time to be focused on one task. Okay. It might feel like a really long time. But I want you to think of it, it might be like going to the gym. Okay. And you're working on that muscle. You're working on that focus muscle. So the first few times, it might take 15 minutes and you feel like, oh my goodness, that's a long time. And then you might get to 20 minutes. You might get to 25 minutes. That's okay. Okay. It's just something that you're building on and you're building on this focus muscle. So you don't need to get it right the first time. However, some little tips to help you stay on track. What I tend to do is I do a brain dump. Okay. I get myself a piece of paper or I even type it into a Google Doc and I just brain dump everything that's in my head. And it might be to-do lists, ideas, and things like that, just so that I've emptied that out of my brain. So that when I'm sitting down, I've removed my distractions, I've removed or turned off my notifications, and I'm sitting down to work on the task that I have at hand. Okay. I'm setting my timer for 25 minutes, but then I also have to the side of me blank piece of paper. For me, it's important for it to be blank so that it's not grabbing my attention, and a pen. Okay. Now, why do I do that? Because while I'm going through this process of working on my one task, so let's say I am researching my podcast topic and I'm going through and I'm researching and the task is set for me to work on this for 25 minutes. The time is set. And as I come across and I'm doing some research, another idea for another podcast pops up. So rather than going down that train of thought and following the research for that, I will grab my piece of paper and I will write down that other topic that's popped up. Then I will continue researching what it is. And then another idea might pop up or something else that I think needs to work on. So I just write it down on my blank piece of paper so that I've got that to come back to. Now, what you're doing when you do that is you're also training your unconscious mind to say, hey, this doesn't need my attention right now. I will come back to it. It is important, I'm acknowledging that you've given me a great idea for another podcast topic. However, I'm not working on this right now, but I'm acknowledging by writing it down and popping it to the side that it is important to me, but it doesn't need my attention right now. Now, you might not be working on a podcast. You could be doing whatever it might be that you're doing for your business. However, just write it down. It could even be something that you remember for the kids at school that you need to do, or something else, but just write it down, pop it to the side, and then continue working on whatever it is that you are working on right now. Okay. Now, and then you have your 5-minute break. So I have my timer go off. Now, things to do then in your 5-minute break. Now, if you're focusing on something and you are highly, attuned and focused into something, what you're not going to do is go and spend that 5-minute break looking at something on your phone. Okay, because you're going to shift your focus and attention to that to another area which actually needs a high focus as well. So I would be doing something like, for me, I often just get up and just go outside just for 5 minutes, get a little bit of sunlight. I've got a herb garden that I might just water my herbs. I might just water the grass. I might just literally just get up and away and out of my office into some kind of fresh air. Now, you could do some stretches. You could go and do whatever else. Now, if you need to extend that time limit because you do have to respond to messages on your phone, that's okay. But make sure that you have a minimum of 5 minutes where you're shifting your complete focus. Okay. So I like to literally get outside because I'm working inside. I'm usually working on my computer, or I'm usually working kind of in that state of focus. So I'm removing myself from the area entirely. So that is the basics of the Pomodoro technique. Now, once you find that the 20 minutes is easy for you, you can extend that period. Okay. I'm actually found that after a few years of using this, that now I kind of set my timer to like a 45-minute, and I allow myself like a 10 to 15-minute break time. And that also allows me like 10 minutes of actual just relaxation or shifting my focus, going outside, getting some fresh air. And then it might allow me 5 minutes to kind of catch up on some tasks or things like that. So it's totally up to you. There's not a one size fits all for this. However, there is some science around it where 25 minutes on and 5 minutes off is an ideal time to work on that. And if you think of it like going to the gym, if you're working on your arm muscles, you're working on your biceps, when you do that 5 minutes break, or the day break or whatever it might be, you're not working on those biceps anymore. So shift your focus so that if you're working on your computer in your office, shift the focus to somewhere else so that you can actually have an effective rest time. So my top tips from that would be, definitely when you're working on your Pomodoro technique, that you are working on one task only. Okay. If anything pops up, write it down on your blank piece of paper to the side, and you can come back to it later. It's going to help to train your unconscious mind that it does not need your attention right now, but you will come back to it. It is important to you. And that's a good tip all the time. Okay. Because you're helping to train your unconscious mind on things like that. And then when you're having your break time, get away from where you are now, because this is going to be able to help you, and work towards, 45 minutes if that works for you. Work towards whatever is going to work for you. So if you would like to get more done in less time, give this a try, okay? Because I feel like it will be able to help you to be more effective and more focused with your time so that you can ultimately achieve more of what you want to achieve. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. And that brings us to the end of another episode for the Empowerment Life podcast. I hope that today's episode has left you feeling inspired, motivated, or maybe it has just given you something to think about. A big thank you as well to all of our amazing listeners for being a part of our empowering community. I truly appreciate your support, your feedback, and also the dedication you have to your own personal development. And don't forget, if you have any questions, suggestions, or topics that you would like me to cover in future episodes, or you would like to work further with me, I would love to hear from you. We will have all the information on how to get in contact with me in the show notes. So until next time, keep empowering yourself, because the only person who can truly unleash your potential is you.